Hi. Wow, wow, wow. Meow. Hi. Very cold. How are you? Hi. Thank you. I need water, but I need a second for. Aw. Meow. Be right back. I get water. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. I woke up late, but I'm so happy because it's quiet today. No screaming toddlers today. That's why. Well, I had trouble sleeping. And I went back to sleep kind of in the morning. And I thought I was gonna be woken up, and then I was surprised that I wasn't woken up. Yes, I'm so, any day I can have a little bit of peace is really nice. Can't take today for granted. Yeah. I gotta live today to the fullest. I'm in a very good mood right now. Oh. Also, yeah, last night was really embarrassing. I'm sorry for that. um, you know, yeah, I really want to try to stop having meltdowns over people being nice to me. But how do I describe to someone who's not mentally ill the kind of paranoia that I feel that comes from like the wrong kind of attention? Yeah. It's like it's so even though yeah, people might not really be that bad, it's like in my head they transform. Commanding aspect and accentique and the T sense. And Sergio and uh live type and exisip and fisty. Hi. Meow meow meow. Yep. In a great mood indeed. Okay. Wah 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 wah. I'm a really simple cat, honestly. Put on 24-hour sub mode. I think I didn't turn it on yet, live type. The problem is, I'm not getting really triggered so much by new chatters. It's people who are like, they're well established in the community, they're very liked, but I just find that they're a little bit too aggressive towards me, and it makes me feel uncomfortable. Um, and sometimes I'm fine, but then some days I think it just like really adds up, and I'm like, whoa, slow down. Yeah. Hi. Can't describe it. It's a cognitive experience. Others won't understand unless they have experienced something similar. That's true. But then how also do I describe the way that like some chatters make me feel really calm and cozy? I don't know. I don't know. So it sucks. I don't want to be like that because most of you guys are really great. You're really awesome. Um, I'm gonna try to just think every time I'm getting a little annoyed, I'm going to picture the person as like a little kitten who's just being feisty and wants to bite my ankles, and that will make me feel better. Come on me. Yeah, no. Actually, yeah, my tummy, it's my fault. My tummy was feeling uncomfortable because I don't want to tell you guys. I don't want to tell you what I did. I don't want to tell you what I did. I'll say it. Let me remember my password first and then I'll say it. I can't multitask. I'm trying to log into Codeberg. I keep getting you've entered the wrong password or something. Incorrect password. Oh, thank you for stopping by, Bolty, and wishing me a fun stream. I hope you have a good day. Different people perceive things differently. In most cases, you can't understand how anyone feels unless you get in the same position. Thank you, Dream D. That's probably a really normal take. Yeah. I do think I'm pretty empathetic, but you're right that I can't I probably can't exactly understand how someone else feels either. You mind eating hat? Who's pregnant? Me? 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 Turn everyone into furries? mm, yeah, I mean, honestly, I like furries. I shouldn't say that, but it's true. I think that, to be a furry in this day and age, especially, because I don't know. I feel like furries had their moment, but they're not like, um, I feel like they had their moment where they were more well renowned. Now I feel like they're kind of not even just memed on, they're just kind of forgotten about for the most part at the moment. Or maybe I'm just not in the circles. I think it's such a brave expression of what it means to be human. Max is pregnant? No, no, no. Max can't be pregnant. He's celibate. Pregnant from eating all the leftover gingerbread houses from Christmas? Mine eating. That's really close. That's really close to the truth. Man. So, I fell asleep around midnight, and then for some reason my body woke me up at like 3 in the morning. And I'm like, not just a tiny bit awake, I'm like awake, awake. So I sit down. I'm browsing the internet. I did go on Reddit a little bit. I regretted that, but I did go on there a little bit. And I was thinking, like, why am I such a hypocrite? Why is it so hard for me to just give this shit up? Why is it hard to change? I still have the game uninstalled, by the way. Anyway, then I was looking for, like, okay, I want to watch a Korean variety show. So I went on the site that I go on, and I'm like, what's new? What's new in this world of Korean shows? And I found the perfect culprit. It's a show called Bake Your Dreams. Bake your dreams. And there's one episode released so far, and it was an hour and a half long. I still haven't finished watching, by the way. But it's like they get these bakers, 72 bakers, and they make them compete. And they're just baking all different kinds of, yes, it's a great Korean bake-off. Exactly. Exactly. But then, like, I started watching, and watching made me hungry. I was like, I want bread, but I don't know. I don't just want bread. So I did make a sandwich, and then I saw for like I don't even know how long I saw it, but I think I'm gonna be in trouble, right? I don't know when the Super Bowl is. I think it was probably for that. But there were chips and salsa, and I'm like, well, I'm pretty sure this has been in here for like at least a week, maybe more than a week. I don't know what the occasion it was purchased for, but I don't know. Watching the bread, watching the baking show, like the combination. So anyway, I ate half a bag of tortilla chips with salsa. I felt like I was gonna throw up. Oh, it was too much. It was, oh, yeah. I think in the beginning I was genuinely hungry, but then I got to the point where it was sort of like it was an act of rebellion. Also, okay, wait, let me backtrack. It's not expired. The other part of it too was like I was jealous of the judges because they get to try all the different breads. They get to try all the different bread types. So I was like, I wonder how long this shoot lasts because, like, how full would you be if you're a judge and you have to try 72 different types of breads? And, like, these are not just regular breads. It's not just bread. It's like, it's a baking contest. So it's all different kinds of pastries and cakes and breads. Um, I'll show you some pictures. Let me see if I can find some pictures. There's one that got rejected that I wanted to eat. I really wanted to try it. There's a garlic bread with cream cheese and truffle oil poured all over it. And yeah, according to the judges, it was too greasy, too much. And it made the whole room smell like garlic, but it looked really pretty on TV. Ah, It'll work. I think I need to refresh the page. Uh-oh. It's suddenly not working. The video's working. I should bake something like hot dogs. Oh, yummy. After every episode, the judges must do marathon workouts, right? Right? And then one of the judges is like, actually, one of the judges is definitely a model. And then the host of the show is this really tiny, thin actress. And I'm like, how is this working? How can you eat that much bread in one day? Why is this doing this? Let's switch servers. Okay. Ah, just looking at this again is making me excited. I'm trying to get screenshots from the episode. I just don't remember what part it was in. The yeah. So there's it's called Garlic Boy. It's a love-or-hate thing. I want to see it. Yeah, show us the Garlic Boy. Yeah, it looks good. It looks good. Sorry, I'm getting too excited. One second. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. Meow, meow. Oh god, I'm excited. Why am I like this? Don't know. Meow. Oops. Did I do it? I don't think I did it. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Did I do it? Oh, I did it. Okay. Let's show you this one. Oh, wait, I don't have anything started. Wait. I gotta share just other screen. I gotta start the mirroring. Meow, meow, meow. Anyway, I'm tempted to just scrub it and look for even more pictures, but I feel like I'm already doing too much. So I should. Okay, actually, let me see one more. Another one. There's another bread that was really interesting, to say the least. Okay. Meow, meow, meow. Now I need garlic bread. Yummy. Meowing herba. I was surprised to see you in the other stream. I was really surprised. Found your way over there. I was crashing out. I'm gonna try not to do it anymore. Weren't you in the other stream, or was that an imposter? It was a similar name. I thought it was, yeah. So there's two breads that I'm gonna show you guys. The first bread is this one. Hey, let's see. Show us the bread, kitty. Stop delaying and show us the bread. Here's the first bread. Like, oh, you know? And apparently, yeah, apparently they put like cream cheese in it. I don't even know what truffle oil smells like or tastes like, but when she was painting it, it made me want to try it. So this one is really popular on social media. People do travel to get it. Actually, I feel like that's the cool thing too. I feel like Koreans, this could be my own bias, but they seem to put a lot of effort, creativity into branding and stuff. And it's all, but it's concentrated. It probably has to do with the nature of like being a very, it's sort of like, it must be sort of like, I don't know. Yeah, being really populated. Let's take that's some fancy shit. I'm hungry. It looks nice, right? So I wonder if it's sour or sweeter. Don't know. I don't even know. But she said she wanted to do a different take on garlic bread, and then the judges judged her, and they said that garlic bread is supposed to be hard, and this bread was soft. But she also said that she was kind of rushing because she wanted to be the first one judged. So she felt like she should have let it sit a little bit longer. Anyway, this is one of them. And then this one, it does look less appetizing. This bread is called Ugly Bread. That's like the name of the bakery. Ugly Bread. And they have something called famine crops. I don't know why they call it famine crops, but it's just like vegetables. I don't know. There's probably some lore there that I'm missing out on. But so this is a bread that's like very only a little bit of it is bread. It's a cope name. Anyway, it's like stuffed to the brim with fresh veggies of like all different kinds. There's like potatoes and sweet potatoes, and those are the only veggies I could think of off the top of my head. There's more. There's more. So yes, Sergio Casas. It's literally called Ugly Bread, but this is another one that got really popular on social media, and apparently it was really delicious because this guy passed. The judges were like, "Oh yeah, this is good. This is good." Um, Let me see if I can find the websites for these things. That would be kind of interesting. Let's see. Let's see. Actually, do it over here first. Ugly bread, Korea. Let's see what comes up. Um, oh, it's called Ugly Bakery. Okay, let's find it. Ugly Bakery. But the whole place is called Ugly Bakery, but that bread was called Ugly Bread. I can't really find anything. Let's see if I find another one. Garlic Boy Korea. I don't know why I'm advertising these companies here, but yeah. So the Ugly Bakery is in Seoul, Mapogu, and then yeah, this is the establishment, and this is their bread, man. They got all different kinds of breads that um are ugly, I guess. Man, they have low self-esteem breads, man. ASMR cream bread popular in Korea. Ugly Bakery. Okay, so I guess there's all different kinds. Meow, meow, meow. I don't know why I'm looking at. I don't know why I'm doing this to you guys. I'm just so curious about it. So these ones kind of just look like sandwiches, almost. Maybe it's supposed to be like that. And they just have all different fillings, and then people travel from all over the world to try these ugly breads. Apparently, they're delicious, though. Ah, man, just looking at this makes me kind of like not hungry but curious. Makes me curious. And then we have yeah, the garlic boy. They only have 1,200 followers. I should follow them on Instagram. Ah, I should follow them on Instagram. This is this one. This is this one. Yeah. 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 I like their sign. It's very simple. I like the aesthetic. Let's go. I don't know. I really don't know why I'm doing this right now. I'm gonna stop. Don't judge a book by its cover, bakery. One of my favorite sweets is brigadeiro. How do I try that? 15 must-try foods at Guangdian Market. They also said that the Garlic Boy is the first bakery in over 120 years in this marketplace. I don't know if the marketplace just had something against bakers specifically. Easy, fast, 3 ingredients. Never heard of it before. Meow, meow, meow. Let's see. I'm so hot. I was so cold. Put on a sweater, and now I'm burning up. I don't know what to. Garbage. Let's put these in the garbage. Um. Gotta clean up the files, the mess I made. Um, I'm so happy right now. It's really funny. Schrodinger's internal temperature. Okay, 1 second. It's a food stream now. We do a watch along of a baking show. Ah, you're sick? I'm always sick. I'm always in poor health. Yep. I'm happy today. So happy today. I feel maybe it's because I'm an introvert. I think I'm like I require a certain amount of like quiet or silence. Poor immune system. More like poor habits, really. Not living the healthiest life. I gotta change that. Marcus Aurelius. How to act. Never under compulsion, out of selfishness, without forethought, with misgivings. Don't gussy up your thoughts. No surplus words or unnecessary action. Mm. Let the spirit in you represent a man, an adult, a citizen, a Roman, a ruler, taking up his post like a soldier and patiently awaiting his recall from life, needing no oaths or witness. Cheerfulness without requiring other people's help, or serenity supplied by others. To stand up straight, not straightened. Meow, meow. It does. It drains me. It drains the kitty. Wow. But okay. So, I do act under compulsion. I probably do act out of selfishness. I have to think about that more. I do act sometimes. No. Do I act without forethought? I don't think so. I think I always think before I act. The problem is I don't always like think rationally before I act. Or even if I notice that my thoughts are irrational, I act in spite of it. I act anyway. One meow a day keeps my worms away. I like it. Don't gussy up your thoughts. What does that mean? No surplus words or unnecessary actions. Okay, he would like the min-maxers and optimizers in my life. He seems there's some folks who are really good at min-maxing. They don't like waste. They don't like any unnecessary action. And some of them are the most successful and most efficient people that I've ever met. Okay, let's see. I like the part where he says, "Let the spirit in you represent a man, an adult, a citizen, a Roman, a ruler." Because that line reminds me of the way I think. I don't imagine myself as a man or a Roman or a ruler, but whenever I think about how I should behave, I try to picture sort of like an ideal version of who I want to be. And usually, um, I think of like an anime girl who is um cheerful but not like loud or whatever, just like naturally happy, calm, and tiny, and but the most important part is that she's like self-directed, right? She knows what she wants to do and she does those things. Um, I wouldn't call her disobedient, but yeah, that's like the ideal. But I don't know. No, I prefer. I want to be more like diligent and calm and um competent. But I feel like I'm bratty and whiny and very incompetent. Anyway, but I like it because I feel like I'm not that different from Mark here. Mark back then was, I mean, I guess he's closer to like he actually was a Roman ruler. He had to remind himself of what he was. But I like the idea of like using mental visualization. What do you mean by should be? You know. Anyway. So that's the take I'm taking away from today's. I'm gonna say visualize who you want to be. But don't stop there. I was thinking a lot also about addiction and things like that, right? Where like what why do people why do people fail to change habits? Why do people who are addicted to smoking or um who know that they need to like eat better, work out more. They know they need to for their health. And then they just don't do it. Like, why is that? Like, why is it? And sometimes they know, and sometimes they even want to change, but they fail to do it. Is it just a skill issue? It might just be a skill issue. Knowing that ideal self is half the battle, you are bratty. I love it. Thank you. To talk to himself about that. I do like this. Yeah, I do the same thing. I didn't copy Aurelius. I've always been a diary writer. Commanding Bitter Boy and Commander K. Rudd. You want me to say 6'7"? Is that what it is? Hard to get out of your comfort zone. Yeah, it's a skill issue. Yeah, but I'm thinking about it even like so much more, right? Like I didn't mention it yesterday, but I did watch that Business Insider video about how why everything is a subscription now and like living is so expensive. And there wasn't anything really new in there that I didn't already know about. But yeah, something that I think is like under emphasized by people that I talk to on a day-to-day basis is just how much of our life goes into autopilot. And so it's not even that people are just incapable of change. It's like whatever you currently do, you're more likely to continue doing. And when you develop a habit like paying for Spotify, whether or not you get a ton of value from Spotify, whether or not you even open the app and use it, once you start doing something, you have a tendency to just continue doing it. Um, and yeah, it's like the world would be really different if everyone suddenly had something like ADHD medication and they could suddenly have all this, you know, motivation and willpower to do the things that they say they want to do. It reminds me of a different quote from Big Magic, and it just said, "Most people don't. Most people don't finish." Exit cells. You have to actively rewire your brain. When playing strategy games, if I stop thinking for a second, I just do what I usually do. If in the moment, even if in the moment it isn't optimal, habits are similar. Yeah, that's really what I'm getting at. Actually, I want to save that because I like it. Meth for everyone. Wait, wait. Wait. Can a cat have a little bit of meth? I don't know. I don't think so. But yeah. No, but really, yeah. And I want to use that as my driving force. I'm not saying, Mrs. Moonson is all work, no play. That's not what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to say, like, the balance is out of whack. And, like, I genuinely, not for the sake of, like, impressing other people or something like that. I genuinely would be a happier person. I wouldn't hate my life so much if, um, if I made the kind of changes that I want to make, like taking better care of my health, having better sleep, um, doing the things that I promised to do, like following my word. These are, there's kind of like character traits that would not just make me more likable, probably, but they would make me more likable to myself. That's the big thing. Autopilot isn't living. Living should be with intention. But Sergio, like, I feel like I'm so easily programmed that I don't even notice that I am living on autopilot sometimes. Um, yeah. And that's why I think even though my schedule kind of stays pretty solid, the act of planning my day alone is one of like the few things that at least it gives me some sort of semblance of choice and control. Yesterday, I did plan the day, but at some point I just kind of like started to veg out. And I was really aimless and I didn't know what to do next, so I just kind of did, whatever comes automatic, which is doom scrolling. Um, but I think, yeah, for me, starting with planning the day helps. And then, yeah, trying to stick to it. I have to focus 100% on one thing, can't change two things at once. Autopilot is strong. That's another point that I think I under recognized too, Misty. That's a good point. Like, some people criticize me for it. And, I'm clearly triggered. That's why I'm bringing it up. But there's truth to it that I could be kind of stretching myself thin by trying to change too many things at once. I do understand that. But I feel like I'm in a rush because I wasted so much of my life already. My life is already behind me, you know? I mean, it's gone. Whatever happened is already gone. So I know, like, so it's like two sides of a coin. On one side of the coin, it's definitely easier, probably, for some people to change things one at a time and then get used to that change. But I also know myself pretty well, where, like, when I stop doing something, it's really easy to go back into default mode. I'm a basically I'm an all or nothing type cat. And because of that, um if I wait, let's use like let's use like sleep and then exercise. If I wait to change, um, if I wait to start working out once my sleep schedule is perfect, I will never have a perfect sleep schedule and I will never start working out. So there's something I found online called like no 0 days. Have you guys heard of this before? I don't know where it originated. So I take a different approach. Instead of trying to have perfect sleep and perfect exercise, I like the concept of not having 0 days. And that way, if at least each day I make an attempt to change that part of my life, it becomes part of my routine, it becomes part of my habit. Yeah. And I don't even think I'm actually overwhelmed though. Like, I think I'm just, I don't think I live a pretty easy life, more or less, even though I complain a lot. I know that, like, true overwhelm, true burnout is far, far, far away from anything I'm experiencing. It might just be laziness. Take an hour-long walk, hard to do. Giving up on myself helped me. 0 years. I don't hate myself for being that anymore. I mean, it's already done. No point of hating yourself for that. Yeah, it's like don't break the chain. Yes, even if you play guitar for 5 minutes, it counts. Exactly. Because like piano and music is the perfect example for me, right? There were weeks where I would play piano every day, and sometimes I would play, like Fissy said, 5 minutes. Sometimes I would play for 2 hours. But the moment I stopped playing piano, it takes me so much effort, like mental effort for some reason, to start playing again. So I haven't played in weeks. Did I even play at all this year? I don't know. Yeah. Log in for your dailies in the gym. And so yeah, while people try to tell me like you're doing too many things at once, one, they don't know my life. They don't know all the ways I failed and how long I failed and put things off. But also like I'm not trying to transform and have the outcome change overnight. I'm trying to transform the my process. I'm trying to transform my habits. And then hopefully in some years, it gets better. Um, It might take me a long time to get better at art if I only draw half an hour a day. But if I skip drawing for weeks and weeks and months and never pick up the pencil, even if I spend 24 hours straight drawing, there are some gains that happen over time in a way that don't happen like that same 24 hours is really different when it happens all at once versus when it's spread over you know, many days. I don't know why. Maybe it has something to do with our brain and our chemistry. One should not expect to get things done in a day. It's good to understand that it does take time. Yeah, Dream C42, not sure if you're misunderstanding me too, though. I don't expect to get everything done to like completion. So, like Accentique, if I were to set a goal of like walking an hour a day, I already can tell you, like, based on my previous habits and the way I treat myself and my commitments, it's probably not going to happen. I will come up with some excuse one of the days for why I couldn't do an hour, and then the next day I'll feel guilty about not doing an hour the day before. So I'll try to do two or something like that, and then the third day I just won't do it at all. But if I give myself permission to do an hour if I want, or 2 minutes, more often than not, I'll end up doing more than 2 minutes. Maybe I won't reach an hour every day. But yeah. Use all the things gacha games use to make their game habit of yours fun. Yes, Exorcist, that's a good one. Loot box, piano lessons, daily rewards. Yes, yes, no, that's exactly what I want to do. I like this. I want to hack my mind. I want to learn how to like, yeah. I want to hack my mind and I want to make my day really enjoyable while also being air quotes productive. It's not really about productivity. It's really about just like choosing my life, designing how I spend my time instead of giving it all away to doom scrolling. Yeah. And it's also weird how like 30 minutes watching a YouTube video feels really different than 30 minutes reading a book, um, or practicing art or practicing your instrument. But be honest with yourself. What's going to benefit you more in the long run? Watching another one of those videos? Because even if I talk about a video I watch, a lot of the time it's just background noise. Like I watch it, think about it for a little bit in the moment, and then it's just gone. And I'm not really paying that much attention to it. If I really think about all the content I've ever watched, so many things, like even the dating shows to a large extent, are kind of like they feel good in the moment, but they're not really adding anything in the same way that, if I spent that time instead practicing my instrument, I do see myself getting better. We need to have our AI agent overlords gaslight into becoming better for ourselves. Accentique, you probably do. I don't. The other thing is I'm a stubborn type cat. I'm stubborn type. So the more someone puts pressure on me, even a robot, the less I want to do the thing, because more important to me than getting it done is like I want to be the active agent. I don't want someone else to tell me how to live. That's also why I'm reading so much philosophy. It's not because I want Marcus Aurelius to tell me how to live, but because I want to figure out how to live for myself. So I see it sort of like shopping. I'm shopping for ideas and opinions from different times and different stances to kind of see, okay, what other people think, and then I craft my own. I come up with my own philosophy. Yeah. Meow, meow, meow. Mm. Uh, uh, uh. Mm. It's so wild to hear to see someone say they envy me. I never thought someone would say those words. But yeah. Mom says clean your room just as you wanted to clean it and then you lose motivation for it. Yes, exactly. It's like, well, now that you said that, I'm not gonna do it. I'll just I'll just exist in my filth. Like I literally had this problem the other day with socks. I wanted to wear socks because it's been so cold that my feet are like frozen. But the fact that Razor keeps telling me you gotta wear socks, I literally sat there thinking maybe I'm not gonna wear socks after all. Okay, let's see. Today's rationality, being logical, was about predications, having sound predications. Because in a statement or a sentence, you have the subject and the predicate, and the predicate, the subject obviously is the thing that you're talking about, the something. The what the heck is a subject? This is really confusing. I don't even know how to talk about a subject without using subject or object. It's the who, and then the predicate is like the what that's happening to the who. But if your predicate is unfound, for example, if there's fake news, then the whole statement is untrue. I'm thinking a lot, guys. No ma- no matter how many Epstein files are released, what if no one does any jail time? What if no one in the Epstein files is ever held accountable? Cuz like they're all really powerful rich people, you know? I feel like there's something really it's crazy because like those same people who they have all the money, they run the companies, they run the media, and they stoke the flames so that people stay hating one another, whether it's nationalism, hate between citizens of countries, or if it's politics, hating the other political beliefs, or if it's like now, citizens versus immigrants. Shouldn't say now. That's probably been a thing for a long time. All of that distraction, right? And then the ones who are really winning, I don't know. it's so weird to think about. I'm not saying that people don't have different beliefs and that sometimes beliefs and values can make it hard to live amongst each other. But I do think some people are spending so much time. I've complained about this before. I've said this a lot. They have so much hate, so much vitriol for like some VTuber on the internet. And yet, the really powerful people and companies can basically get away with murder and you don't hear too many complaints. And it makes sense why that is. And then people say, "Oh, that's whataboutism," and it's whataboutism. It is, but yeah, makes me feel weird. You think it's mundane, Fisty? I don't think it's mundane at all. I think, I think the recent release of docs, because like they haven't even released everything, right? But in fact, instead of calling it mundane, I'd say it's kind of the opposite, where um because to me, mundane evil was sort of the everyday evil that we see, right? The everyday evil that we see of like, maybe white collar crime, fraud, um, affairs, extramarital affairs, or like, you know, people who are in the closet and, they don't want people, the type. Those kinds of things to me are like mundane. I'm not saying yeah, homosexuality is evil, but there are people, so for example, there's some people who are like married, but then they like cheat on their wife with younger boys or something like it, but legal, right? Or whatever. This kind of stuff, it's the evil that's been written about on like the dark corners of the internet, or which I call archive of our own, the dark corners of the internet, and other places like that. I've seen, or even in manga. Remember, I shared this manga once, and the premise of it was like the this girl and her family are invited on a cruise ship, and on this cruise ship, the place is full of really wealthy elites. And then there's like, it's like horror. There's a secret. And I think part of the secret was like weird cannibalism and stuff like that. And unironically, that's the kind of stuff in these files. Like cannibalism? You're calling cannibalism mundane? It's like the opposite. Yeah. It's a long awaited confirmation. I think it would have been mundane if it were just like, you know, hookers and um insider trading. That would be mundane. But when you're talking about like child trafficking rings, murder, disappearance, snuff, torture, what else? I don't even think I'm allowed to say these words on YouTube, but I'm just saying, I'm not saying, I'm not saying anything that these are things that are actually being um like uncovered. Yachts are international waters. I'd be careful joining one. Mm. The world hasn't really changed much. Companies and rich folks always could get away with murder, and they did. It's more on the surface now. Yeah, Accentique, that's another good point. That's why I feel like I need to read history. I need to stop skipping it and actually read the history, because history just shows that things don't change. And what we get is sort of like this illusion of change. Um, or they give us just enough to make us feel like, yeah, to make us not, rebel and off with their heads or whatever. Anyway, sorry. I don't know. I'm sounding very communist when I keep saying like a we and us, but I'm really just talking about myself. But anyway, but I have no desire to like do the violence. I just feel like, damn, the world is more unfair than I realized. Like, I knew it was, I don't know. Yeah. I was really sheltered. I was really naive and sheltered. It's one of the approaches for control. Tell me what you mean by that. Hmm. Okay, the bed of Procrustes. Let's see what he has to say. I'm not going to read Anti-Fragile because I spent too much time yapping already. But I'll read one aphorism and then I will get on to the programming. I suspect that they put Socrates to death because there's something terribly unattractive, alienating, and non human in thinking with too much clarity. I like it, I like it, I like it, I like it. That's the aphorism for today. Um, it reminds me of, yeah, right now where there's like a lot of double speak, not quite enough truth telling, but there's a lot of intimidation for sure. That's the other thing too. Like with digital ID and especially, I feel like the internet was a bastion for like free speech in a way, to some extent. But now, if everything that you do definitely will be tied directly to you, it makes people a lot more hesitant to speak their mind. Bread and circuses. Uh oh. Yeah. Meow. I wish it could be like, I'm not saying that the world has to be devoid of evil, because that's just not reality. I just wish it was like a little bit less. Could it just be like a little bit less? You know? Like, can we have like a little bit of justice, please? Like, like a little bit. I feel like we don't get that. I'm not intimidated. They can get upset, write reports, and analyze all they want. Yeah, but you're a rare one. You're a rare one. Hi, ID Archer. How are you? I need to turn on a light. I'll be right back. It's getting darker. Meow, meow, meow. I'm jealous of Socrates. I want to be able to think with clarity as well. Hi, kitty. Hi, little kiss. Hi. All I have influence on is people in my life. I try to be the best for those. That's a good point. Yeah. I think I'm highly distractible. So all this news and world news, politics, protests, all that stuff. Honestly, unless I'm gonna do something about it, I probably shouldn't consume too much of it. The goal of stalking, analyzing everyone's opinion is an infinite task will never go anywhere except drive them crazy. Okay, night night, exit sip, sweet dreams. Thank you for swinging by. Grown up inherently distrusting authority, knowing laws aren't real and can be circumvented with money. So that's the bubble that I lived in, Accentique. I didn't realize. Yeah, I thought I was that annoying child that like I don't know, like some kids are they don't understand the I'm trying to think of a nice way to say it, but they're like too honest. Too honest. They don't understand like there are different rules for different people. So I would call out injustices. I'd be like, "Oh, so and so did this. It's not fair." And I didn't realize how the world worked. It took a long time. It took a long time, and I'm still learning. Demanding Robert, how are you? Yeah, it's like it's too much. It's a little bit too much. But at the same time, the history books warn us that like if you're complacent, um, you know, such and such will happen. But at the same time, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how much power I have. Buying a legal CD were foreign concepts. It was weird living in a double world. Not judging you, it's about where how we were brought up. So many people in Russia have a collective worldview that makes everything there make sense. Yeah. Yeah, the news don't immediately affect me, but you know, but it's working. It does immediately affect me because it immediately distracts my mind. It makes me go like, "Oh my God, would you look at that? That's terrible." And that's why I really want to double down. I want to triple down on this idea of like just letting go of like Reddit, for example. Because some people will tell me, oh, in moderation a little bit. But I think even a little bit is sort of a waste of time. I'll try to focus more. Yeah, accentique. I'll try to focus more on us, the small community, instead of the whole world. But it's really hard. And it's also hard to just like see it done so blatantly in your face, you know? Meow, meow. Okay, okay, okay. Your local community and government matter most. But I don't even go outside, so it's like, but yeah, you have a point there for sure. I think part of it is also escapism because I'm really unhappy with life, with my life. So I escape into the world of politics and oh, look at what's happening. Look what's happening in the world. Look what's happening on the internet so that I don't have to scrutinize myself and my own choices. Um, but I try to fix it. Anyway, let's go in here. Ah, 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 ah. The only valid reason to use social media is to look at anime women art. I agree. I agree. And then for me, like, so I felt like I had to, it's still confusing. I feel like I have to be on social media because I feel like, if I'm gonna grow a business, aside from VTubing, I have to learn how this stuff works. But it's kind of a trap. It's a trap. It's a big news story. No surprise, everyone's thinking about it. Mm. And I think they're also dangling fruit. They're kind of like dangling fruit in front of our eyes to like keep it going long and long and long, keep us distracted while they change the laws, they pass laws, get rid of our freedom. And then, yeah, in the end, it's gonna be one big nothing burger. Let's see. Let's say they don't have enough evidence or something to that effect. Ah, ah. You can talk. You can talk. You're good. Mm. Meow, meow, meow. Hi, the consultant. Meow, meow, DJ. Does this work? What's going on with the coding? Um, nothing. I have no idea what you're talking about, Archer. Let's see. Okay, 12. Meow. take a little bit of a break actually. I'm gonna eat my salad and then I'll continue doing this. I might, yeah, I'll work on it while I eat, but I won't be talking. I like watching real cats eat. Yeah, I had a yummy salad. It was good. Had a potato salad, which isn't salad. We call it salad anyway. I'm a little bit confused with this question. I don't know. It says, write some code that determines and prints whether the number 3 appears inside each of these lists. It says the number 3. It doesn't say the string, it doesn't say the integer, it doesn't say the float, it says the number. So when it gets to 4, it's like not, I feel like it's inaccurate to say that the number 3 does not appear in this list. But I'm not sure how to modify it so that it includes strings without exclusively looking for strings. So that's what I'm thinking about right now. I'm trying to think about how can I rewrite this to include other types of 3. I could use or, but should it stop there? Take your time. And I'm not sure if that's like a trick question. I'm not sure if like their intention is to get me to like notice and change something about how I'm asking. Um okay, I believe you about Julia. Also, hi Rio, how are you? Um meow meow meow. I mean, when I say trick question, I don't know what you think I mean, but yeah. I'm not saying like is its intention really to trick me? More kind of like is this a semantics thing or am I understanding what they're asking for? But yeah. Thank you for your input, I guess. Anyway, let's see. Let's see. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Meow, 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 meow. I don't need any more input on this. That I've come to that agreement. I am going to. Yeah, I understand that what the question is asking. I'm gonna figure it out. Let's see. Hmm. Hmm? My brain. Meow. Wah, wah, wah. Wah, 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 wah. Wah, wah, wah. I don't want to use or because I feel like that's mm, inelegant. Man. Mm-hmm. Why go for an elegant solution right away? Mm-mm. Maybe elegance isn't the term I'm looking for. Maybe I could use. Yeah, I can't ascribe to that life type. I know that some people always use the most efficient. I can't say that I do. Mm, because the thing is, like, Also, my knowledge of Python is limited, right? So I could do 3 in numbers or string 3 in numbers or the string 3 in numbers, right? But I'm not aware of all the data types. I'm not aware of all the ways the digit 3 can be interpreted. I only know what I do know. Like so far I only know, like I know that it can obviously it's being treated as like a string. It's appearing as a string, a float, and an integer in this example. But what if there are other cases, right? I mean, there might be a better way. I could do whatever I want, though. I don't really see a point in writing it down, when I already, like, know it, but yeah. Python variables are pretty complex under the hood. So another option I'm considering, but I don't know, the rules didn't say I could change it. Like, if I could temporarily change the types in the list to like all strings or all integers, but then that would get rid of the flow. Yeah, if I could change temporarily, not saved, but like, actually, would that work? Let me think about this. Yeah, it should work. I mean, actually, I don't know how to do it though. I don't know how to, um, I didn't learn how to iterate in this language. Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Why is this still false? Let's think about this. Ah! Oops. Oops, oops, oops. Oops, oops, oops. Actually, this doesn't make any sense the way I've written it. Let me think about this. No, 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 no! Stop! Stop right there! Actually, you're getting timed out for this. No backseating. Just let me be wrong. If it's uncomfortable for you, you don't have to watch. If it's uncomfortable to watch me be wrong, you don't have to watch the stream. Oops. I don't like it. 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 See? See? You guys see what I mean? Do you see what I mean? I need some validation here. I was saying that like I don't know if they mean number as in like 3 or they mean like digit 3 and then they just did. Man, I'm so pissed. Man, I'm so pissed. Do you understand why I'm pissed? Like if the point is to get me to recognize that 3 does not equal 3, like it doesn't evaluate, this doesn't evaluate to true. Man, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like this one bit. I'm really upset. I don't like this at all. I'm upset. I'm upset. I'm upset. I knew they were trying to trick me. They wanted me to get stuck. They wanted me to get stuck there. I don't think they need to rephrase it because I think that was their intention. Their intention was to provoke that like the question because like yeah, maybe the question is poorly defined, or maybe it should have had like I don't know. I'm trying to think of a hint that they could have written. I don't know. But basically, the question on my mind is like, can a string be a number? Is a string a number? Is a string a number if it has a digit inside? If it only has digits inside? I guess the answer is kind of like no, right? Because, like, man, I don't know. This bothers me. But I feel like there could be a way, though, to I would interpret it as if this was printed out on a sheet of paper, given to someone, would they say it contained a 3? Exactly, exactly. And that's how other people also interpreted it as well. But me knowing launch school, I was immediately suspicious. I was like, wait, this number 3 here, I don't think it means what they, like, but I was afraid. So basically, I had the solution right immediately. Like I wrote this solution immediately, right? Check if 3 is in numbers. But I was afraid that like, am I overlooking something? Is there like some way to ask in Python, does the digit 3 appear in a list no matter, and disregard what type of 3, what kind of 3 it is. And I don't know if there's a way to do that elegantly in Python. And then someone's like, well, why would you try to figure out the elegant solution? It's not about whether it's elegant or not. I just wasn't sure if they wanted me to dig deeper or if they were just asking me like point blank how to do this. Yeah. Anyway. Exactly, live type. I would exactly. So 3 or string 3 or the float 3 or even the word 3, I don't know all of Python. There could possibly be some kind of like built-in function or something that assesses that, but I don't know because I'm new. Hi, Solo. This is why typically everything is converted to string and put lowercase for consistency. I also think that this, even though it frustrated me, I feel like this is a good point to get through my head, is that like sometimes the way humans think and the way code is written and the way code is interpreted isn't exactly the same. There could be something lost in translation between me and my clanker brethrens. So, yeah, even though it was frustrating to waste time in a way trying to think of other solutions, on the other hand, I'm kind of glad to have this reminder that, oh yeah, um, English isn't really the same. Meow, 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 meow. Let's see, let's see, let's see. I need to take a little tiny, 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 tiny break. There. But I know that, like, if you are, if you do this for a living, it could probably feel like really boring or weird to watch me struggle on something that seems really simple. But just let me do it. Let me struggle. Don't tell me how to do it. Please. Unless I beg you crying on my knees. Like, please, 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 please. Converting 3.0 to string will not work in this case, by the way. Oh, see, that's something else I don't know. I don't think the book is poorly formulated, though. I do think I'm just stupid. It resonates with being ESL. I like to think my English is good, but sometimes the struggle is embarrassing. I think it's cool that you're multilingual. Okay, let's see. Butter, 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 butter. It will be 3.0 while 3 is to string is 3. Mm. These real-world edge cases is why often a simpler user-facing button ends up being 1,600 lines of logic. I can understand that, right? Because, human or cat might end up doing anything, or the user could end up putting anything in there, and I don't know what's gonna happen. That's really interesting too. I didn't know that. Oh, okay, 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 okay. So we did this one, okay? Assume you have the following sequence. Meow. My string ABC, my list Alpha Bravo Charlie, my tuple none true false, my range 10 60 10. write some code that combines the sequences into a list of tuples. We get to use zip. We get to zip it. Each tuple should contain one member of each sequence. Print the final results so you could see all the values, which should look like this. Yeah, we get to use zip print. I forget how to zip. Is it a function or a method? Let's just try. Let's pretend. Eh? Let's see. List? Maybe? A alpha none 10. B Bravo True 20. C Charlie False 30. Okay, let's see what they did. Ah. Ah. I never know when to put something in a variable and when to put something as like how it is. I don't know why I started learning English. Yeah. But what did you do to learn English? The usual. You played video games? Book? Then using the heck out of it. Is English the most spoken language? What about Chinese? What about Mandarin? Aren't there just more people? I know that they call English is like the lingua franca or whatever. Where like there's more people that know English as a second language. Probably. I Actually, I don't even know if that's true. I'm just saying words. I haven't taken a linguistics class since I was in college. I don't know that much about what languages people are speaking. As a second language, it certainly is the most spoken. Yeah, but I don't know for sure. Just the most spoken language, primary, secondary doesn't matter. Oh, okay, that's interesting to know. I didn't know that. Meow, meow, meow. Cat, meow. Dog, bark. Bird, tweet. Keys, pets, keys. Delete pets, dog. Pets, snakes. Print, keys. What will be on line 10? Print keys. We'll say. Um, cat. Man, we got through the day so quietly, but now all of a sudden, it doesn't last. It never lasts. Or whatever. At least I got to enjoy several hours of quiet before. I don't know if they're staying, so I don't know if it's gonna be loud for the rest of the night. It sucks, it sucks, it sucks. I'm upset already. Man, why don't moods last? Why can't I just be happy and stay happy? Why can't I just have quiet and happiness all the time? Why do I have to split it unevenly? Some happiness, some sadness. 50 push-ups? That's too many. Meow. 5? Okay. Yeah, I did it. I didn't do 50, I did 5. Can you make directories with touch? Ah, I guess not. I already know I already know that command. I already know. I was just asking a question. Yeah. How are you? No. I'm nervous. I'm excited though. It's been too long. My PC died? Wait, Irva? Are you talking about your beast of a PC that has $1,000 worth of RAM? Meow, 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 meow. Sorry if I was too crabby, Crucial Flow. I didn't mean to bite you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to be a scary kitty. I borked my operating system. I'm sorry. I hope you can revive it. That's kind of scary. I need to update. I keep getting told to update. But I don't want to update. Because I don't like change. Oh, okay. Oh, it's okay. I don't blame you. Head pats. Meow. Can I read? Alright, I'll read a little bit. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. I can't hear my thoughts anymore. I can't hear myself thinking anymore. 1 second, buddies. Um, I have a question. One second. I think I lost my Void Pets account. Oh well. Oops, and iterating. Grats, Mama. Mm. Must be a medical problem. Yeah, I have cancer. Okay. Most programs require code. No. Most programs require code that runs repeatedly. Such code runs while a given condition remains truthy or until it becomes falsy. Most programming languages, including Python, use loops to provide this capability. Python loops have several forms, but the main looping structure are the for and while statements. These loops execute a block repeatedly while a condition remains truthy. You can also think of the loop running until the condition becomes falsy. Both mental models are equivalent. Python has three other looping mechanisms: comprehensions, generators, and functional loops. We'll talk about comprehensions in this chapter. However, we'll postpone the discussion of generators and functional loops to a later course. While loops. A while loop uses the while keyword followed by a conditional expression, a colon, and a block. The loop repeatedly executes the block while the condition expression remains truthy. In most programs, that loop should ultimately stop repeating. That means the block must do something to help Python know when to stop. That is, it must arrange to terminate the loop. That's usually triggered by evaluating a conditional expression. Otherwise, the loop is an infinite loop that never stops repeating. To see why a while loop is useful, consider writing some code that prints numbers from 1 to 10. While that code is straightforward and readily understood, it's easy to see why this approach is unsustainable. Suppose we need to print the numbers from 1 to 1,000 or 1 to 1,000,000. If you had to write all that code for such a simple task, you would soon regret your career choice. Let's rewrite the program with a while loop. Create a file named counterpy with the following code and run it. This code does the same thing as the first program, but more programmatically. It iterates over the block for all integer values between 1 and 0 inclusive, 1 and 10 inclusive. Each time the block runs is called an iteration. If you want to print 1,000 numbers or even 1,000,000, all you have to change is the conditional expression. When Python encounters this while loop, it evaluates the conditional expression counter less than or equal to 1,000. Since counters, I'm afraid I'm gonna break it. Should we try? Should we try 1 billion? Maybe we try 10 million first. Okay, we do 10 million and see if my computer breaks. Since counter's initial value is 1, the expression is initially true, so Python executes the block. We print counter's value inside the block, then increment it by 1. It's going to take like 10 minutes. It's almost done. It's almost done. Oh, for 1 billion? For 1 billion, you mean? I only did 10 million. It's almost done. There you go. I'm surprised it retains all of this history, though. Wait a minute. This is so many lines. This is literally 1 million. Wait. This is literally 10 million lines. I don't know why I'm getting so much joy from that, but it makes me laugh. After the first iteration, Python reevaluates the conditional expression. This time counter is 2, which is still less than or equal to 1,000. Thus the block runs again. After 1,000 iterations, counter's value becomes 1,001. Since the loop condition is no longer truthy, the program stops looping. It continues with the first expression or statement after the loop. Line 4 in this example is crucial. The block must modify counter somehow, ultimately making the loop condition falsy. If it doesn't, the loop never ends, which is usually not what you want. If your program never stops running, you probably have an infinite loop somewhere in the program. Try commenting out line 4 and rerun the code. You'll see that it continue prints the number 1. You can use Ctrl+C to terminate the program. Why do we need to initialize our counter before the while loop? What would be the consequence of initializing it inside the loop? I broke my void pets. It's giving me a network error, saying that it can't access my data. I think I lost my main account. I'm afraid to even check my alt account. But you know what? If I did get my account like deleted or something, maybe it was meant to be. Maybe I wasn't meant to play the game anymore. I'm sure it's fixable. Yeah, I wanna... It's actually making me pretty upset. Oh well. I'm not as stoic as I want to be, no matter how much of stoicism I read. I think I'm really emotional. I'm upset because I had a day of quiet, but then I guess the kids are sleeping over or something, so they came late instead. So now it's pretty loud and I can't even hear myself think because I had to put the rain sounds on. It was so nice and peaceful earlier. And then yeah, I think if my main account is permanently gone, that sucks. Also the thing about the I mean, I already said a lot. I already said a lot about the structure of the game. I told you it wasn't worth spending on, that the prices are outrageous. And I do think some of the joy comes from the, like, only playing a little bit each day instead of trying to brute force. But, yeah. Oh, well. Using loops with sequences. One of the most common uses of loops in programming is to iterate over a sequence's elements and perform some action on each element. For example, we may want to iterate over a list of names and create a new list that contains the names in uppercase. Here's one way to do that. This is another part I'm interested in. I don't understand. I don't understand this. Index equals 0. While index is less than the length of names. Okay, length of names is 1, 2, 3, 4. Upper name, names, index, upper names, append, upper name, index, +1. So we have an empty list called upper names. And then we have a variable, upper name, which takes names and at a certain index, so starting at 0, makes it uppercase, and then take this variable and append it to the list, the empty list. Okay, and then for 1, is less than 4, so max will get in there, and 2 is less than 4, so Karis will get in there, and 3 is less than 4, So Victor will get in there and then it should stop. A bit of an explanation is in order here. I already read the explanation. I don't feel like streaming anymore. The variable names holds a list of names. We want to append each name in uppercase to the initially empty upper names list. I wish I had no emotions. I hate emotions. I hate feeling. I hate the swing of emotions. I hate how, like, I feel emotions really intensely, and then it clouds my ability to do anything. Meow. Oh well. Since list indexes are zero-based, we initialize an index variable with 0. Next, we use a loop that executes as long as the number in index is smaller than the length of the names list. Line 8 increments the index by 1 after each iteration, which ensures that index less than length of names becomes falsely after the loop handles the last element. Line 6 assesses the name stored at names index and uses it to call string upper. That method returns the name in uppercase, which we assign to upper name. It doesn't change the original name in the names list. Line 7 uses list append to append the latest uppercase name to upper names list. Over the 4 iterations of the names list, line 7 appends 4 uppercase names to upper names, 1 per iteration, in the same order the loop processes them. Notice that we initialize names, upper names, and index before the loop. Honestly, Moon won't be down here for long. I don't think Moon will be down here for long. Much longer. Names, upper names, and index before the loop. We don't want to initialize them inside the loop. They would get reset during every iteration. Basically, nothing would change. That wouldn't work well, even if the code ran without error. How is a while loop similar to an if conditional? In what important way do they behave differently? 3 to 4 years. I did see a headline somewhere that said China is coming to save the day. So I don't know if that means some Chinese companies are gonna enter the market and sell, um, and try to sell, yeah, try to compete for the consumer market for expensive hardware. I wonder if there will be an LLM that lets you have the last word. I can't remember what I was reading or listening to, but it is something I've thought about a lot. One of the things that feels super natural about using LLMs is that no matter what you say, they say something back. I feel like it would be more natural for sometimes it not to respond to me, whether it's like whatever chatbot. So I'm not aware. I mean, maybe there already exists some that function this way, but yeah, I think personally, I would be excited and curious and interested to interact with a chatbot that was yeah able to refrain from responding sometimes. Sometimes Grok doesn't respond. Ah, I've never used Grok yet. Okay. I don't even understand how to use Grok, but yeah. Hmm. I think that's better. I don't know. I haven't used Grok, but I think I think not responding some of the time is better for the consumer. But I do think that responding all of the time is better for the company that wants to keep your attention and wants to keep using your tokens. They want to put. Wait, why did you delete that? I did see something about the data center in the sky or in outer space. I'm not Mel from Hololive. I don't even know who that is. Why are you advertising other VTubers in my chat? Go watch Mel from Hololive then. Meow. I think I end the stream. I tried to persevere and overcome, but I'm feeling really sad about my uh losing my Void Pets account. A great heat sink. Oh. The vacuum of space is a great heat sink. I mean, good for them. Kind of stuff in space is interesting. I don't know if we are quite there yet. The tech. In my humble opinion, I don't think humanizing them more is a good idea. Dream C42. Um, maybe you're right that that would humanize them more and that could have other dangers. Maybe the fact that it always responds is a good reminder that it's not human. But I'm saying from like if I don't think about the consequences of the use, if I just think of it purely as like as a tool, like if I'm going to use it as a tool, specifically, honestly, I only think about LLMs for like research. I really only use it to research. I don't really use it to yeah, anyway, whatever. If I think about it in those terms, I'm just saying I would prefer it. But I see what you're saying that maybe the way it is sort of like robotic and always replying can serve a function. It's sarcasm. Vacuum is a terrible heat sink. Why? So I don't know enough about physics to know why that is, honestly. Maybe I was asleep. Why is a vacuum a bad heat sink? Wouldn't it just like suck up all the heat? Isn't it really cold out there? What is a heat sink? Is it something that receives heat? You wanted to quit this game, didn't you? I did want to quit the game, but I had an emotional attachment to it. So, um, yeah, I feel sad about it. Both things can be true. I forgot what an insulator is. Can only radiate, no convection. Okay. Maybe I go read that book. Was it Ryu who sent it to me? I can't remember. Or maybe it was Jakova 14. Someone sent me the links to Feynman's physics textbooks. And then I bookmarked them, but I never read them. Maybe I go read that. Highly conductive sink of heat. Water. Heat transfer is dependent on contacts and if the material is a good conductor of heat. Vacuum is the lack of stuff. No stuff, no heat transfer other than radiation. Okay, my question then would be like, does it matter if space is the most conductive heat sink or whatever? Maybe it's like not efficient, right? But there's so much of it. Like space is so big. So wouldn't it get the job done? Yeah. The issue is using radiation is hard and very expensive. Ah, a lot of nothing. I can't wait to join the stars and the nothing. It's complex and expensive to radiate heat. Do you have to pay a subscription to radiate heat? I think I don't understand enough about vacuums. I know that heat transfers from areas of high concentration down a gradient to areas of lower concentration, right? Like when I take a hot shower and I step outside the shower into the cool air, the heat kind of dissipates into the air. But is air different than a vacuum? Air is air. What the heck is a vacuum? I don't even understand space. Yeah, I need to go back to school. I don't understand. I don't understand. I don't understand space. It's a really efficient invisible blanket. There's nothing to conduct heat. Have you seen the vanilla and chocolate ice cream experiment? No. To allow energy to pass through a material. Vacuum is the absence of anything, not necessarily only in space. Yeah, I know that it's not just in space. I meant like, I don't understand. What I meant to say was that I don't understand what that looks like. Like, the air around me is full of molecules. Oxygen. hydrogen, whatever. Carbon dioxide, whatever. Just in the air, like air quotes air, whatever the heck air is, it's something. And in the vacuum, if it's like nothing, what does nothing even look like? Just doesn't look like anything. True vacuum has none of that, yes. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.